right. What's going on? I got, I don't know what to call you these days. I don't know if I need to call you AGM for life. I don't know if I need to call you Action J, Action Jackson. Nonetheless, I got a guest here on the week 7 edition of the WolfCast. And, it's great to see you. Great to see you. How does it feel being on the WolfCast?
Man, it feels great. I've been waiting 10 years for your call. I walk by you every week, waiting for you to stop me and say, "Hey, man, do you want to be on my show?" And it never happened. And then this last Sunday, when you stopped me and said, "Hey, man, I want you on my show. I got to have you on my show," I just went home and cried. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate you making it sound like it was all that big time. Like it really was. I appreciate you. Making it sound like it was really that difficult. You've been wanting to get on the WolfCast for a long time, and I appreciate you for carving out a little bit of time to come on. So I was missing a call, but we'll see if they call me back.
I'm sorry for the glare because my wife kicked me out of the office and sent me to an alternate room. So that shows who's running the house this week.
Probably for wearing that Packers jersey. That's probably a reason to kick you out.
Throwback Devontae Adams.
Oh, okay.
Although he's gone, he's still a Packer.
He could be coming back here pretty soon. So
exactly.
you never know. It's was it Mecole Hardman got traded back to the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday or today? So with
and Dark Knight
going right now,
trying to pick him up right now.
Say it again.
Dark Knight is trying to pick him up right now.
I think Dark Knight is trying to pick up everybody possible. If we let him, he'd pick up Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I believe you. I think he was trying to pick up the Frank Harris from UTSA. Also.
Dark Knight's not on here to defend himself, so we'll stop. We'll leave him alone. We'll leave him alone. But I really want to get into the matchups this week. I don't want to hold everybody long. It's a bunch of 3-3. I feel like you're either 3-3 or 5-1 right now in our league. I don't know the other teams. What's your record right now, Action Jay?
I'm 3-3, but I should be 5-1.
We all feel like that. I'm 3-3.
I made some mistakes that some other things was going on in my life, and I didn't keep up with my lineup, and it cost me a couple of weeks. And then one week I something said, even my wife said, "Don't play Taylor. He's just coming back. Leave Zach Moss in there." And I was being hard-headed, said no, and he had 53 points that day. So
yeah. I think I might even told you. I probably gave you some bad advice on that one myself. So you can blame me a little bit on that one too.
I wasn't gonna throw you under the bus, but
hey, I'm an honest I'm an honest host, despite of what some of these other people try to say. There's a couple of boycotters that have boycotted the show, but that we digress. That's what happens when you get on the main stage. You become one of YouTube's greatest sensations, and people start to hate. But it's good to see people like you on the show and have you a part of it. So
thank you again for having me. I know Jack reached out to me to be on STL's show, but I declined.
Yeah, I hear about this other rival show. I don't think it's gotten off the ground yet, but we'll see if it ever gets off the ground.
People will have to go back and create MySpace accounts to go onto his show. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Got you. So anything else you want to get into before we get into these matchups? Anything else? We can talk about a couple of these games and see what's going to come on. See who's going to end up being. If some teams get to 6-1, me and you hopefully get to 4-3.
A lot of teams came out hot, but now their teams are Dark Knight. If you look at his scores every week, I don't see how he's 5-1. He's only scored 200 points once this season.
Wow.
Most of his games are like from 150 to 170, but he happens to have these weeks when other guys are hitting 140, 150. So I don't see Dark Knight going very far this year.
Okay. You know what? You made me pull it up. So let's just talk about it real quick. So Dark Knight sitting at 5-1 at the top of his division. He's averaging 167 points a week.
Yes.
STL is 3-3 and is at number 2 in that same division, and he is sitting at 225. 225. I think STL is probably the highest scoring team in the league. Crazy, huh?
Yes. Now I think G-Man may be surprising us soon with Murray coming back.
Yeah.
I was a week away from picking him up, and then I saw that he popped up on his team, and I was like, dang. I was gonna try to slide him in there just like I did with Jelani Woods, but he's still coming back from that hamstring injury.
I had Kyle Granderson, and I thought that was going to be something, and I dropped him, and then Huckleberry picked him up and played him in the week. He scored 25 points. So I almost want to eliminate tight end altogether. Tight end, we just should eliminate it altogether this year. So
even your guys like Hawkinson, 1 week 30, next week 8.
Hold on. Oh. I got a phone call. We'll see if that person calls me back. That was we'll see if they call me back. Yeah, this will be interesting if this person calls me back.
I hope they do.
So I get what you're saying. Your team is not too far off from being one of those teams too that ends up coming along hot here down the stretch. So I must admit, coming into this season, I felt I was in the toughest division, that National South. And if you look at it, the last place team is 1 game out of first place. Everybody else is 3-3, and Laugh Now, Pay Later is 2-4. I mean, it's a gauntlet in that division right now. So we're lucky to even have 500 records right now. And then outside of the division, it's been crazy. I played STL. I played the better team. And this week I actually played the Baker King, believe it or not. So I played, even though these other teams are 3-3, they're scoring more than the 5-1 teams. So
exactly.
It's
a crazy year
this week. So let's, and I'm not even bothering looking at the power ranks anymore. The power rankings are so off. I don't trust them anymore.
I do feel sorry for the GOAT. He's this year's AJ.
All right, I'm getting a phone call.
Uh-oh. Are you gonna answer?
Hello.
This is the WolfCast. You're calling. I guess they sent the link out and you saw it was on.
Whatever. I just decided to call in and see what you're playing on tonight. It's just crazy.
Well, I'm actually talking to Action Jackson. I think you know him pretty well. You guys have a long heated rivalry, and y'all have said some things to each other before. Hopefully you just say hi right now, though.
He's like I told you before. He's a good guy.
Oh, thank you, Baker King.
Yeah. This is cordial. This is really nice, Baker King.
I keep telling you, I don't put people down.
Well,
Action Jackson has a good team. He does.
He does have a good team, and you're right. You don't put anybody down. Since you're on here, you're 5-1. You took your first loss last week. Well, how you feeling this week?
I'm feeling pretty good. Like I was explaining to STL. I said,
"Oh, you were talking to STL. Okay, all right.
Yes,
that's nice."
Yes. He's the GOAT as far as our league is. 4 championship rings. Come on.
With 2 asterisks.
Can't beat that. But I was telling him I would rather lose 1 than go undefeated, because that's a lot of pressure,
Yeah. I feel you on that. Get that loss out of the way now, and see how the rest of the season goes. Maybe you'll get 2 losses this week, but that's, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, do you want to go through the matchups with us then? Do you want to hear about any of the games? Do you have any insight, anything you want to share with? I would bring up, some of the boycott messages, but that's behind us. I think we can move past all of that. So,
well, as long as you don't insult me.
I'm not insulting anyone.
And Baker King,
you know it.
Baker King
on WolfCast.
Baker King,
insulted.
You being okay. Action Jackson has a question for you. I'll shut up.
What do you think about STL's teams over the last couple of years? Those early championships were doing the growth of his farm system.
Oh wow!
Now that his farm teams have pretty much disappeared, he's struggling. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh wow! Okay.
Wow. I mean, look, a win is a win. A championship is a championship. I mean, there's no asterisk. There's no. It's a win. I mean, there's nothing I can say about it. Like I said, you're not the man until you beat the man.
Well said.
But if I'm playing 1-on-1 against somebody and I go to the hoop and then Wembley jumps out of nowhere and blocks my shot, is that a 1-on-1 game or is that a
no? That's unfair.
Exactly.
Baker King said that was unfair. He said that would be unfair. So
and I kind of go back to some times when there was trades where you was like, STL is wounded mortally, his team is garbage, and then all of a sudden somebody would give him a quality quarterback, and then he's strong again. So I'm just saying that's where my
but is that on STL or is that on the person that traded with him?
Both.
I would say
whoever traded with him and gave him that good player.
I would say some people may. There's always been some trade. My thing, and we'll get to the matchups, but my thing on trades is it's always in the, it's kind of like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I have said no to some trades that hindsight is like, man, that actually wouldn't have been a bad deal now. So yeah, it's been, Action Jay, me and you have made some trades that has made people question. It's like, hey, why would you do that trade? But at the end of the day, bye weeks, or if a player's not performing, like if you would have known the year Aaron Jones is going to have the year after you traded him to me,
I know.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I traded.
It wasn't something immediate. It was,
yeah.
Well, back then we didn't have IR.
No, we didn't.
Because I would still probably have Joe Burrow and players like that. I always had to drop key players because there was no IR.
Yeah. No, we've all had those fair share of injured players that we've had to lose or get rid of for costs and stuff.
I think this year AJ has gone. The injury bug has really hurt him. That's why I'm giving him good. That's why I'm giving him good grades for his team. Me and him, case in point, me and him were playing, and lo and behold, his quarterback goes down.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
and then I've had some injuries.
Yeah, it's been the injuries this year. It seems like everybody. Like I told somebody, I was like, man, if you don't have a player on IR, or if your receiver had got a hamstring injury, you hopefully you get it now instead of later. So everybody's gotten one. So
yeah, I'm gonna stop picking having quarterbacks, because if I pick a quarterback, they're I thought Richardson was gonna be the change, and 26 points 5 minutes into the game, and then I look up and he's out.
He's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You're right.
And this goes back to Cam Newton and all of them. I keep
It started with drafting when you drafted Andrew Luck, but I'm not gonna.
Exactly. I know you had to bring that up.
That's a salty one, but okay. All right, let's go to the matchups. Right. I'm gonna start with some of these games. You know what? Infantry Warriors 3-3 versus the G-Men is 3-3. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot, so I'll probably just call out the teams who have not identical records. that are playing each other. But we just assume everybody's either 3-3 or 5-1, or I think Goat's the only one. Did Goat get his first win last week?
No,
he's still looking for his first one. We'll get to it. Infantry Warrior and the G-Men. If you look at the website, it says it's a 74% chance that G-Men is going to win. Looking at the roster, I see why.
Yeah. I'm taking Infantry Warrior.
You're taking Infantry Warrior?
Infantry Warrior will win.
Over G-Men.
Over G-Men.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going with the G-Man. That although Tua and Hurts it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
The rest of his players don't bring a lot of points to the table.
He's having to start Keontae Ingram this week, so that's not pretty. I'm gonna go with the G-Man as well, just because he's been scoring 225 every week, and I don't think Infantry Warriors got enough to get there this week. His receivers are fair, but when you got Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson, the Commanders defense got the Washington, the team from Washington, they got the Giants. The Saints got the Jags tonight, so they could get some turnovers, but I'm going with G-Man. I'm going with G-Man.
The Saints have recovered 2 fumbles already.
The Dolphins don't do good in cold weather.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so then that would definitely put it for G-Man then, if you're saying that Tua might not have a great game.
Yeah, I mean, he may not, but I mean, Jalen Hurts, has he really taken off this year?
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
He hasn't. I mean, 3 picks against the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas buried the Jets, and I'm not bringing Dallas in here, but Dallas buried the Jets.
Oh, here we go. Cowboys.
Yeah, but sometimes you walk into a stadium and you're like, oh, this is going to be practice.
Yeah.
And then the other team is like, no, we're coming at you.
Yeah, I think that
some of those interceptions were not hard interceptions. They were almost like somebody from Vegas was making him throw interceptions.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think Philly's too physical. Their defense is too physical.
Yeah. In real life, Philly should win, but in fantasy, we're going G-Man. All right. So this next one, we got 2 losing teams playing against each other. We got the 1-5 Swagner versus the 2-4 Laugh Now, Pay Later. Current defending champ, Laugh Now, Pay Later. I'll give him his respect there. But Swagner off to a slow start. His team, he's got Russell Wilson as quarterback. I mean, that's where we start right there, right?
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going with Laugh Now.
Especially when you got Latavius Murray as one of your running backs too.
Russell Wilson, and come on, guys, I've had him the last couple of years. This guy's horrible. I don't know what's going on. Don't know. He'll struggle to get 25 points.
Yes, he will. He will.
And that will be a quiet 25. A quiet 25.
One thing that may help Swagner,
football quarterback. No, I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
No.
What were you saying, AJ?
One thing that may help Swagner is that the Bills defense is playing the Patriots.
Yes.
So he can potentially get 100 points from the Bills this week.
Yeah. Everywhere else.
Yeah. The Patriots.
Yeah, but Latavius Murray has a starting running back.
Who's that?
Latavius Murray is one of his starting running backs.
Yeah, and he's got Troopers on the rest of his team's on the bye. That was the best he could do. So, and I don't think
his other defense is the Broncos.
Say it again.
And
his second defense is the Broncos.
I don't know. I mean, Eckler hasn't really broken out. And there's another guy coming off injury. So wow. I mean, Swagner's been bitten so much. I mean, Cortland Sutton, I mean, he really hasn't, but like we were saying before, Commissioner, it's not Cortland's fault. Is it the offensive line? Is it the quarterback? I mean, that wide receiver is dependent on 10 other players to do their job before he can do his.
Yeah, for sure.
And Russell Wilson just, no.
All right. So I think consensus is we're going with laugh now in that matchup for now.
Yeah. And Swagner, if you're listening, talk to me about Christian Watson, because you know I love my Green Bay Packer players.
Hey, I got a trade for you. I got a Packer on my team I might be willing to get rid of finally.
You probably won't
Let's
say
go next.
for Aaron Jones. I can see that.
Yes. We got robbed one time, though he was robbed of his championship, is what he believes. But you know, we made a decision. And then you got Bulldogs. Both of these teams are 3-3. I think this is going to be a good game. I almost picked this one as like the game of the week. This would have been a good choice. You got two good owners, two good coaches. Brian Hoyer, though, is who Rob is having to play this week because of Burrow being on bye. And right off the bat, he's got Kareem Hunt in the lineup. That's not good. DJ Moore is having to play with the backup. Josh Reynolds is his receiver. Bulldogs should win, man. Bulldogs has got Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy should rebound against Minnesota. He got was it Brian Robinson? They should be playing with the lead, so it should be better for Brian Robinson. Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. No offense, yeah. I mean, this is not going to be a high-scoring game. You know, both of them have some players on bye, but at the end of the day, I mean, I ain't trying to call the board, but if I'm Bulldogs, I would actually consider playing AJ Dillon this week. That's tough to say, but AJ Dillon over Noah Fant might be a better play. And watch I get that wrong. Watch Noah Fant have 50 points. I'm going to go with Bulldogs in this game. What about y'all?
I'm with Bulldogs also. Sorry, John.
Yeah. Next up, the 0-6 GOAT. So GOAT did not get that first win. Huckleberry, I think, is on a 2-game win streak, but he's still 2-4. He's still losing. I saw him last week. We should have got a picture. Me, Huckleberry, and the G-Man were hanging out together in Louisiana at a football game. So yeah, we were all together. We should have took a picture. Yeah, that
was a boring moment.
It must have been Grambling.
Yes, we were at a Grambling State football game, and it was not a boring moment. People hate that they are not in those kind of they're not in those kind of circles, but you know, I digress. Let's see. The Goats already got 25 points with Trevor Lawrence and Alvin Kamara. Ramondre Stevenson hasn't been very. The Goats need to pay attention to this lineup because Jamar Chase is still sitting there, and he's got to get MVS in the lineup. It appears is his next best option. Yeah, he's gonna have to go with MVS this week. That sucks. Huckleberry, on the other hand, has got Kirk Cousins. That hasn't been great. He's got James Cook. Raheem Mustard is his real name, not Mostart. Is Mustard. Raheem. You got Devontae Adams. I talked about that earlier. Devontae Adams maybe getting traded. Terry McLaurin, Josh Palmer. Kyle Pitts is.
I'm going with Huckleberry.
Yeah, I think so too. Huckleberry for the win in that one. I think we're getting up to some really good, man. We got Dark Knight 5-1 versus Fire Dogs 4-2. That's the game of the week, everybody. That's the game of the week. We got two teams that have great records. We've already talked about Dark Knight not scoring enough, but nonetheless, well, hold on.
Don't pick Dark Knight.
Is people still hurt?
You said don't pick Dark Knight because he gets upset.
If you pick him to win, he's gonna. Oh, I knew it. Oh, it's the Wolf Vision curse. Oh, woe is me.
Please. I'm getting messages that I should check our chat right now. What's in the chat before I even go?
Yeah, let me see. I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet either.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is Brandon would show us live.
All right. Well, maybe it was false. Somebody told me to check the chat. I'll get back to it in a second.
They're probably saying that because they're saying nobody's watching or anything. STL's probably doing his disinformation campaign.
Yeah, it's telling me I can't see it though.
I'm not seeing anything other than Brandon posting.
Oh, okay. That might be it.
Link
Just making sure we can see
line.
it. Okay. So Fire Dogs versus the Dark Knight 5-1. We already talked about it. Dark Knight not having a bunch of points this season. Fire Dogs has actually had some pretty good weeks, I think. But Patrick Mahomes versus Baker Mayfield, I'm always going to go Pat Mahomes. Jaleel McLaughlin versus Gus Bus and Alexander Madison. Man, let's just not break this game down. Do we think Brandon Ayuk, AJ Brown, and Gabe Davis is a better receiving core than Amari Cooper, Zay Flowers, Deebo Samuel, and Khalif Raymond?
Yes.
I'm telling you, AJ Brown by himself is probably better than a couple of those.
Yeah. So that's where it's going to come down, and I'm going to go with AJ Brown, like you said,
and Brandon Ayuk. Oh yeah.
Yep. So
my tight end caught a pass. Wow.
All right, we'll get to your tight end in a minute.
Will be.
and also Deebo is still missing practice.
Oh,
so he might not even play this week.
Yeah, he may not even. He has a shoulder injury.
Well, you know, who is he beefing with? He's probably in his head.
Who's that?
Deebo. You know, he's what it was CJ Gardner.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, him and CJ Gardner. Oh
my gosh! Come on, really?
Hey, when you got the big 71 on your team, you willing to fight anybody. So yeah.
I mean, he did run away from the fight. I mean, come on. Everybody's seen the video. Come on, it's out there. You know, here all of a sudden, here comes big number 71 out of nowhere. Just crushes the guy. Full sprint. Well, not full sprint. But...
All right,
I'm amazed that Jacksonville's already up 14-3.
Yeah, my Saints, man. All right, let's get through. We got like 3 more games because we're almost out of time, guys. Let's see. So we said Fire Dogs for sure. STL versus the 5-1 King of the Gridiron. STL is he's thinking that he might lose, but you know, he's got Jalen Warren, he's got Shaheed out there right now. He got big play guys. But
I would take Stafford over Love.
You'll take Stafford over Love. ETN is already up to 22. He might get 40.
Yeah, ETN may get 50 tonight.
The
Aints are pathetic.
Nobody's talking about like real life football. This is a fantasy show.
Well, okay. Well, let's all be fantasy people then.
And Shaheed is hit and miss.
Yeah, it's missing right now for sure because they ain't got.
And that's why I gambled and traded him for Watson. We're
gonna move on. Who's gonna win this game? STL or King of the Gridiron? You pick it. Since you have all the jokes tonight, Baker King.
Well, I mean, we got look at the wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Shaheed. I mean, you tell me.
All right, so we're going with STL.
Is that better than his wide receivers?
George Pickens is all right. STL for the win. STL for the win.
As much as this pains me, I will pick STL for the win.
All right, so
we're in the same division, so I do not want to see him winning. That's why I was so mad last week when your guy did not score. When that call came and you were going to win the game.
But you know what? Here's how close that was. If you watch the Sunday night game, Waller was held on the final play, and had he caught that, the game would have been out of reach for me. But then if Herbert, if Herbert would have hit Allen, who was wide open for a 75-yard touchdown, then that would have put it out of reach. So yeah, there were multiple plays where it's like one catch would have made it out of reach for both teams. But
I would have won too.
The interception. I think Leon was about to lose. Correct?
What was that?
Was that Leon that was about to lose?
Baker King did lose last week.
I lost.
Okay, the other somebody else was playing. They were down.
Oh,
they went up
King
by one.
Yeah, it was coming down to
the interception, and it became a 3-point swing.
Yeah. So This game, Baker King, Action J versus the better team. They're both 3-3. Who you got in that? AJ, Action Jackson can't pick in this one because of his affiliation. So what do you say?
Oh man, Josh Allen against Desmond Ritter. Ooh, can you say torched?
Hey, I can only go with certain folks.
Christian Kirk, Curtis Samuels.
He ain't even put his full lineup in yet. That's how confident he feels right now.
You know,
he's certain for his running back.
Just now coming back, so that's not fair to judge because he's still a little dinged, I think.
Yeah.
Zach Moss, that guy's balling. Barkley, he's playing for the New York Giants.
Yeah, they gave him 24 carries last week. Yeah. So volume is king.
St. Brown, he's just torching it up. That guy can torch it up from anywhere.
Yeah.
The Rams defense versus the Patriots.
No, they got Pittsburgh.
No, that's the Steelers.
So that's not that bad of a matchup.
Yeah, it's not.
The Patriots versus the Bills on the other side, though.
I think the weak link is his quarterback.
You think that's
that's going to be the weak link. I mean, Christian Kirk, this guy is a consistent 20-point guy.
Yeah.
But he really is.
He ain't got before right now, but
and he lost a fumble already.
I mean, keep going. I mean, you'll see. And then he's got George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But also look at this.
I'd rather take the better team.
Okay. So there you have it. Baker King takes the better team.
One thing I looked at is the fact that every touchdown to Stephon Diggs, or every pass by Josh Allen is costing the Patriots defense.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
No, and that's what I think the defense goes to the Rams. I think your defense, but I think what Allen could do, Allen could make up for what their defense will lose.
Yeah.
I think.
And the Patriots, oh my gosh, they're playing the Bills.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh man, he's got his quarterback against his defense. I think the quarterback's going to get more points than the defense.
I think you're 100% correct there.
Exactly.
He might be better off just putting the Titans in because at least they won't go negative.
Yeah.
The Titans are on bye.
I mean, that could cost him the game. That right there.
Yeah.
And that's what
the New England Patriots are playing. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we got the last game of the week. We got Baker King, who's 5-1 versus Silverfang Big Wolf, who's 3-3. That's the end of the show, everybody. So sorry we didn't have enough time to talk about the final game that's on the slate. We only have 4 minutes left in this here Zoom. We reserve.
But I can talk about it.
We can't. I can't because of my affiliation, and you can't because of yours.
Yes. Yes.
But I can.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's hard to completely pick Silver Fang Big Wolf's team because he refuses to put a full lineup in for me to review. Unless you're going to tell us other players.
Oh, I need to get a kicker.
Well, no, you have a kicker in, but you don't have a tight end.
No, my kicker's on bye. My tight ends are back. I'm going to play. I'm probably going to play. I'm actually probably going to play both of those tight ends because I don't trust some of those running backs. I just don't. Everybody's hurt. Somebody got a concussion. Somebody come back from a hamstring. The one come back from a hamstring plays the Ravens. That's not a smart proposition. So, yeah, I'm playing running back roulette right now.
Both of your defenses are gonna be pretty good this week.
Yeah,
but the 49ers, both of your teams are going up against teams that they throw the ball.
39 points. That's not going to hit it.
All right, you got 47 seconds to pick one.
I'm going with. I'm sorry, but I'm going with Silver Fang Big Wolf.
Really? All right. Well, that's jinxed me probably or something. That's what Dark Knight would say. But yeah, thanks.
Because KC's defense is playing much better. I think that may be a shootout.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been great, guys. It's been a great visit. I'm glad to have the Baker King back on. This is a pleasure. We'll have to do this again, guys. We'll have to do this again. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And please don't wait another 10 years to have me on your show there on the WolfCast.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if I win. We'll see how your picks go.
All right.
All right. Thanks for having us.
All right. You have a good week.
You too.
Later.
Bye.